So I was very excited because I saw an interview or was reading an interview with Henry Cavill, who was talking about really wanting to be Superman again. And I was like, I feel like I've got a new, fresh take on this. And after hosting DC Movie News for 7 years and being a diehard DC fan, a fan of Henry Cavill's, but having kind of shifted my opinion on what we should do with Superman, I just can't wait to talk to the people about this today. I was just really looking forward to it. And we will. And I'm excited to get there. But then I did that thing that you do when you click on the news and you lose time because you're just watching the trial of Kyle Rittenhouse as you're throwing shit at your fucking computer, just screaming because it doesn't even feel like real life. And I have to talk about it because what I want to do is talk about Superman and Henry Cavill, and we will. But what I feel like I have to do is talk about this judge in the Kyle Rittenhouse case, and we will. Also, I need to clarify something that I said in the past and talk about something that's going on in Kansas right now with a book ban. So that we need to get to also. And Terry Crews was in an Amazon commercial trying to convince people to become Amazon employees. And it's a fucking tough look for Terry Crews. Terry Crews does things that are a tough look sometimes. And this was one of them where it was like, ooh, Terry, stepping in a little bit. Plus, hearing from you guys, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Super chat in. Get in your questions, comments, concerns. We are always a roller coaster show, but considering today that we are going to go from Henry Cavill as potentially Superman to Kyle Rittenhouse, we are going to be as sensitive on this roller coaster as we can be, or as thoughtful on this roller coaster as we can be, because boy, oh boy, do we have some things to break down today. Like I said, getting your questions, comments, concerns early. Today is Wednesday, November 10th. That means it's World Girl Wednesday. Tonight we're building baby Grogu. Hopefully it will be the last of them. The girls are coming over wicked early today to talk. We have a big meeting about some of our future stuff. We got back all of our calendar photos. We've been going through those. Holy shit, are they dope? The calendar is going to be awesome. So we got some good things going on too, guys. We got some good things going on too. Let's start with you guys in the Streamlabs and then get to some of this other stuff that, like I said, I would like to talk about today. I cannot believe that's November 10th. We just fucking started November. How are we 10 days in? Where'd the 10 days go? Where? I missed them. I feel like legitimately today should be November 1st. I feel like it's actually March right now, but okay. Glenn Caesar in the Streamlabs starting us off. The Zen one says, hello and happy World Girl Wednesday, Roxy. Sending well wishes and a thank you for hanging out today. How are you? Doing okay. Watching too much news does not do well for the soul, though. Peace, bunnies, hugs, and good stuff to you, your dad, Skyjet, Grammy Papo, and your family. Be most excellent to yourselves and each other. I know that Black Lives Matter. I stand against Asian hate. I stand against Islamophobia. I stand against anti-Semitism. Way to go, Smets, and everyone who is fighting to smash cancer. Bunnies to Avery Burke and Avery's mom. Rest in peace, Chris Burke. #3 super rock stars forever. Miles Cosgrove, Brett Hankerson, Jonathan Mattingly arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor, all three of them for killing Breonna Taylor, not for the bullets that missed. Hope today is the day, just for all the people who lost their lives due to excessive force. Feels very relevant today. Glenn also says, Roxy and Rockstars and everyone who's battling, thank you for choosing to, because it is a choice. Thanks for showing up and being support for the people around you whenever, however you can. Doing all of that, even when it's a tough challenge, makes you a winner. When you win, we all win. Hope you each continue breathing in golden sparkles, bring in love, and blow out stress and yucky energy with every inhale and exhale to break apart and remove all types of energetic blockages so you attain balance, Be brave, be you, be awesome, because you are. May you each get to smile and laugh out loud like a child at least once a day, today and every single day for the rest of your lives, so that you glow in your flow and be you always and in all ways. There's no one better at being you than you. Hashtag anomaly. Thanks, Glenn, for that. Appreciate you, my dear. Also in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Christian Hardesty says, happy birthday, Devil Dogs. Happy birthday, Devil Dogs. I think you told me about this. Oh, yeah. Is today the Marines, something with the Marines founding birthday or something? Appreciate you. Appreciate it. Thanks, my dude. You rock. And thanks to everybody who's in here live watching this. Let us start, I think, with, would you rather start with the Kyle Rittenhouse stuff or start with the Henry Cavill stuff? I really can't make a choice on this right now. We're going to get to both, but right now, what are y'all? Do you guys want to start with the tough stuff and end on a good note, or start with the good stuff and lead towards a tough note? You tell me. This is your guys' show as much as it is mine. This says live at the Roxy. I'm the Roxy part. You guys are the rest, the rock stars. Shannon posted it's the birthday of the Marines. That's awesome. Thank you, Christian, for posting that. And thank you to everybody who has served for their service. USMC, United States Marine Corps, is 246 years today. Wow. That's wild. That's wild. Okay, let's see what you guys want. Manny says start with the bad, judge first. Glenn says good stuff for last. Mohammed says save the best for last. Yeah, okay. All right, let's get into it. This Kyle Rittenhouse stuff. I don't know what I'm talking about, so keep that in mind. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know the judicial system as well as somebody who has studied it. I watch trials like you guys do, especially the major ones that we've talked about on this show. But from watching this, there's so many takeaways that just a regular civilian like me, I sent Steph Sabra this message because you guys know her family is all in the system. And I just wrote and said, does this sound normal to you? Like how a judge speaks? This is the link that I sent her of the judge speaking to the prosecutor in the Rittenhouse trial. And I'll play this for you guys here. If this gets me demonetized, then so be it, or flagged. It is what it is. But this is just one thing that I watched. Hold on. Okay. You guys tell me.
You should have come and
That's
asked
the judge.
For reconsideration. You did on the one motion, and in fact, I granted your motion for reconsideration. Okay.
That was not a motion.
So he says you should have asked. You did it on the other motion, and I considered it. And then the prosecutor says that was not my motion.
Excuse me. I did. I granted.
We did not move
that
to
was
reconsider.
their motion.
We have not filed any motions to reconsider in this case.
That was their motion for reconsideration, which I denied. But I said I denied it, or I indicated a bias towards denial is what I did. Held it open with a bias towards denial. Why would you think that made it okay for you without any advance notice to bring this matter before the jury?
Okay, so pausing for a second. He's starting to really raise his voice with the prosecutor. Now, I know that people are saying the prosecution has really fucked up this case, and I'm not disagreeing with that. And I don't know enough to know about that. I just know from somebody who's watched cases in the past, as you guys have as well, that judges don't usually speak like this to lawyers. He's really let's keep going.
I was astonished when you began your examination by commenting on the defendant's post-arrest silence. That's basic law. It's been basic law in this country for 40 years, 50 years. I have no idea why you would do something like that. And it gives, I'll leave it at that. So I don't know what you're up to.
May I respond?
Okay, so pausing for a second. Legitimately yelling. He's legitimately yelling at this guy. I just have never heard a judge speak to a lawyer this way when it seems like the lawyer didn't actually do anything to deserve being yelled at. And then the man asks if he can respond. So he starts to respond, and you'll notice he gets cut off by the judge very hard.
We filed an other acts motion on this exact issue because, in my mind, and I argued this, it is identical to what was going on the night of.
Just describing right now the prosecutor's demeanor, by the way. He's leaning against the stand, the podium. He is very relaxed in his voice. He's very relaxed in his demeanor. He's just there talking, okay?
August 25th, in the sense that the defendant was using this exact same weapon. He was using it in a manner to try and protect property.
No, he wasn't.
Your Honor, with all due respect,
I'm not going to rehash the motion. That's absolutely untrue. No. Your arguments of record.
Okay, pausing again. So he interjects, no, he wasn't. And then says he's not going to rehash it again. He kind of sounds like a parent having an argument with their child, just interrupting in a way that he's doing it very like rudely, aggressively, abrasively. And again, I'm not saying that that the prosecutor is doing the best job on the planet, but the judge speaking like this is so out of turn. For anybody who's tuning in now, Ethan Dayton, hello. Anybody who's coming in now, we're talking about the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, which I have been watching all day.
Are of record, and why I ruled as I did is of record. There's nothing that I heard in this trial to suggest anything's changed. Even if you're correct in your assumption that you know more than I did at the time, you should have come to the court and say, I want to go into this.
What is he talking about? Even if you're correct, well, if he is correct, then we need to talk about that. So it's like he's yelling, and that is an example of what I've been watching for hours. The judge is very, very clearly, in my opinion, opinionated, and his opinion is that the prosecutor or the prosecution is wrong, and his opinion is that Kyle Rittenhouse was acting in self-defense, which is clearly not my opinion, and probably, if you're watching this show, not your opinion. But we're not judges. Judges aren't supposed to have opinions. They're supposed to listen to the lawyers and rule on things based on what is law. That's what they're supposed to be doing. And it sounds like his mind's already made up. And because of that, I feel like he's encouraging the jury to not be open-minded about this case while he's yelling at the prosecutor. It's just wild to listen to. And another thing that, if you guys aren't watching, that we saw with Kyle Rittenhouse is that he took the stand, which doesn't typically happen, to defend himself. And he was hysterically crying. And then they took a recess during this. The man's hysterically crying. It was so uncomfortable to watch. Oh, Silu says no jury's here, but I think that they're watching it, right, Silu? That was my impression, that a jury might be swayed by this because they are able to access this. I thought that was the case. I could be incorrect about that. Like I said to you guys, I don't know enough about the court system to know. I know that there will be a jury. Maybe this is before that. Maybe they are not able to see it. Oh, Silu says, no, in Argentina. Oh, you're talking about where you are. Yeah, my impression is that a jury are watching this, and this is part of the process, and they are able to be convinced by this. Stephen Summers says, I came in at an odd time. Yeah, I feel like that every time I poke into the trial. I feel like I'm coming in at an odd time because I'm listening to this judge like straight up yell, and it's fucking jarring. And doesn't feel like our court system here. And doesn't feel like he's listening. And I can't say it enough. I'm not saying that the prosecutor is doing the greatest job, but this is just a really, truly wild. This is a really, truly wild way to treat a lawyer. And then because Kyle Rittenhouse is crying, the judge is like, young man, it's okay. Let's take a break. And it's like, I get treating everybody with kindness, but he's not treating everybody. The judge isn't treating everybody with kindness. And let's not forget that Kyle Rittenhouse murdered 2 people, shot them multiple times, and is claiming that he did it in self-defense. And we'll see how the rest of this trial unfolds. But holy shit, this judge seems egregious. It seems fucking egregious. When I texted Steph about it, and I said, is this how a judge is supposed to speak? She said, talking about his own opinions is so out of line. A judge is supposed to be the most impartial one in the room. Their opinion doesn't matter. Their job is literally to interpret the law and nothing else. And that to me does not sound like a judge who is interpreting the law. That sounds like a judge who has a fucking hardcore opinion and is sharing it with everybody. How do you guys feel? Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Do you think that this is a normal way for a judge to be reacting? Are you guys, what are you thinking about the trial if you're watching so far? Let Sista know. I would love to hear from you. All right. I promised you guys we wouldn't spend too long on the Rittenhouse trial. I just had to talk about it because it's top of mind for me. We will be getting to the Henry Cavill Superman in the future. But before we do that, there's a book ban in Texas in Kansas that's happening that I wanted to discuss because words have power, and I've been dicking on books recently, and I've been doing it as a joke. And I need to clarify that it's a joke to make sure you guys know that books are unbelievably important. They were really important in my childhood and my adolescence and growing up. They can teach us about things that we otherwise wouldn't know about, and they're wildly important. Just as an adult, I tend to watch a lot of TV, and so I feel I am a slow reader, and I am ridiculous when it comes to books. But when I say things like books, TV over books, I so don't mean that books shouldn't exist. It is a joke. I really truly believe that books are not only important but necessary in educating your children, and so and for other things too. So I wanted to read this to you guys because I was kind of alarmed to see this when I saw that Handmaid's Tale was trending. I assumed it was about the TV show, but it was not. It was about the book. And the reason that it was trending was because the Goddard School District, which is in Wichita, Kansas, has removed more than 24 books from circulation in the district's school libraries, citing national attention and challenges to the books elsewhere. The list of books includes several well-known novels, including The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood, The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison, The Hate U Give by Angie Thomas, and The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky, and also Fences, that play, August Wilson's play that won a Pulitzer Prize for drama in '87. And they called themselves the KKK, a historical look at how the white supremacist group took root in America. Now, we can very clearly see what all of those things have in common with each other. They're all dealing with a mass prejudice, some towards women, some towards Black people, all of them having to do with minorities or discriminated against groups. And, even just taking something like The Handmaid's Tale with what the dangers of treating women as less and not giving them the same privileges as men, and treating them like they are made for one thing, and that is to create babies. The Hate U Give. I didn't read the book, but I did watch the movie, and it is pretty self-explanatory about the hate that is given specifically towards Black people. All of these books, including the plays, Fences, all of these being very important pieces of literature that are now being banned from the school system in Kansas. And that's fucking disgusting. That's fucking disgusting. So I wanted to briefly address what I have been talking about as a joke and let everybody know that if in any way I have encouraged or made you guys believe that I do not think that books are important, especially for our children, I so don't believe that. I just like TV a lot. But this is ridiculous. And shame on Kansas and the Goddard School District for this decision. Really, 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 truly an issue. All right. Again, before I talk about Henry Cavill being Superman in the future, send in your Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Again, any questions, comments, concerns about any of the things that we've spoken about so far. And I do want to talk about this Terry Crews thing. Terry Crews. Terry Crews is layered because I'm not out here throwing hate towards Terry Crews. He can be very funny. I like him as a performer. But Terry Crews makes choices in life that seem just so odd to me. And it's like he needs a best friend who looks at him and says, like, Terry, no. Terry, no. So Terry Crews is in a commercial for Amazon where Terry Crews is pretending to be an Amazon employee and encouraging people to apply to be Amazon employees. And in this commercial, I don't know the exact amount, but it's got to be in the millions. Terry Crews is being paid millions of dollars to pretend like he is playing an Amazon employee when we know that their employees are treated like fucking piss. Speaking of piss, and that they have to piss in bottles while they're on their routes because they can't be too slow or they'll be fired. We've seen and read all the things about Amazon employees, and for them to have Terry Crews pretend to be an Amazon employee while he's making millions to pretend to do that, and he's saying, "What up?" Whatever her name is in the commercial, Stephanie, and like going around as if the job is amazing, and he's like, and everybody's like, "Hey, Terry," and he's like, "Hey, guys." Trying to make it look like it's like fucking summer camp. He's like, "Oh, which way is the arrow go? It goes up." And I'm just like, oh boy. Oh boy. It's just so ugh of Amazon and of Terry to accept it. And listen, I can't even throw that much shade because if somebody offered me millions of dollars to do that, I would fucking do it. Because I live in an apartment and the idea of millions of dollars to be in a commercial makes me feel like there's hope in the world for me. I would do it in a heartbeat. I don't care what the commercial is for. If the commercial is for an STD, if the commercial is for Amazon employee, it does not matter what the commercial is for. If they're paying me millions of dollars, I don't think I have anything inside me to say no. But Terry Crews isn't living in a little apartment. Terry Crews isn't having a hard time paying for a plane ticket to get home for the holidays. Terry Crews is not having to decide which days he has ramen for dinner. Terry Crews is doing okay. So Terry Crews gets to make a different decision than Roxy would make. But a person in glass houses can't throw stones. And when I tell you guys I would take this commercial in a heartbeat, I would. I just kind of wish that Terry didn't. Like, what if they gave it to an actual Amazon employee and that person ended up making millions? That would be fucking great. That would be fucking great. No, John Bainbridge, they have STI medication commercials. Joey Tribbiani did one of them. That's how I know. That's how I know. All right. Well, enough on that. Should we get to the good stuff? Let's talk about Superman in the future and if we're going to be seeing Henry Cavill as Superman. I'm going to go into the Streamlabs first. You guys submit your Streamlabs as we talk about this. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Ryan Payne says, I have to answer the question that's been on your mind for a while. The question that's been asked since 2016. And the answer is a resounding fuck yes, more Henry Cavill Superman. We'll definitely get to that. Thank you for that answer though, Ryan Payne. Ben Rayner says, hey, Roxy, hope it's a good Wednesday. Great news about Crapbag being named Sexiest Man of the Year. Yeah, it is good news. I love People Magazine picking Paul Rudd. We call him Crapbag because of Friends. If you didn't get the reference, Princess Consuela must be very happy. I think she is. Banana Hammock is living her best life. Also, did you see the full trailer to Being Ricardo's? No, I didn't. Movie about Lucy and Desi. Looks great. Wonder what you think. I didn't see it. I'll have to watch it. So far, what I've seen has looked good. Leonard Kim in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer says, hey, Dimple Tits, Roxy, happy World Girl Wednesday. How is your day? It's It's going okay. It's definitely overbooked. I like really overbooked myself today, but I'm doing the best I can. Fortunately, I haven't been following the Rittenhouse case, but that sound bite was rough to hear. The judge isn't helping change our view of the justice system. The eyebrows are on fleek. Thanks, Leonard Kim. Trying to grow out my eyebrows thicker, but they just don't seem to grow. Yeah, it definitely doesn't help our opinion of the justice system at all, or at least not mine and not yours. Oh boy. All right, we'll talk about Superman. And the reason we're talking about Superman today and send in your Streamlabs now is because Henry Cavill was talking to Hollywood Reporter, and he said, there is still a lot of storytelling for me to do as Superman, and I would absolutely love the opportunity. As I always say, the cape is still in the closet. So it got me thinking. If you guys have followed me for years, you know that I like Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill's Superman, Man of Steel is not my favorite movie. His Superman, I think, is good, but I think that there was so much more room to be explored, and that he didn't fully get there yet. And that's why I was looking forward to hopefully seeing him more, because it's not like he was bad. I didn't feel like it fully embodied Superman yet. But it's just a first movie. That really my issue with is the dog stuff, not Henry Cavill stuff. But I always was kind of like lackluster on Superman in this universe. Then we saw Justice League, and I was like, ooh, I actually really want more Superman. Especially this, I'm seeing what he can do here. Then Snyder Cut made me really want more Superman. And now full blown, I don't understand why we can't have a Man of Steel 2. I feel like, yes, we are doing something with another Superman franchise. I think it's supposed to be a Michael B. Jordan miniseries on HBO Max. Did I get that right? But in what world can we not have a sequel to Man of Steel? How would that fuck up DC's plans? Even if it's just a standalone, even if it's just to wrap it out. Why can't we get a Man of Steel 2? It feels like the most obvious direction they could go in. It feels like it really makes sense. It feels like Henry Cavill wants to do it. So in what world can DC not put together a team and a script and put out an awesome Superman Man of Steel 2? Oh yeah, Michael B. Jordan's doing a Val Zod. I think the JJ property is dead. You guys are right. The Val Zod limited series. Totally. Thank you for the correction. I'm just not seeing a way that this wouldn't be positive for everybody involved. Henry clearly wants a chance at the character again. Seems like the people want that. DC wants to make a lot of money. Seems like Man of Steel 2 would make them a fucking ton of money. Even if they announce it now, it wouldn't take place for another couple of years. So what's the hesitation? Why are we shying away from that? And I understand we've got a couple different universes going on right now, so it's a little confusing with this new Batman not being involved in that universe. But fuck it. Let's hit that single. People liked Man of Steel. It wasn't for me, but people seem to like it. And I feel like I could love a Man of Steel too, because Henry Cavill is great. So I just don't get why we're not doing that. And what do you guys think? Is there a reason that we are not doing that? Richard Ganther says, via Hollywood Reporter, Cavill to star in John Wick director's Highlander reboot and to begin shooting in 2022. Can't wait to see him as the Highlander. But what about Man of Steel? And he's got a lot of projects going on, but I think he would make time for that movie. I don't know enough about Highlander to know, but that does sound exciting. And I love John Wick. So yay on that. Thanks for letting me know, Richard. In the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, getting your questions, comments, concerns, thoughts about a Man of Steel 2, or where you would want to see Henry Cavill Superman. Would it be a TV show? Would it be in another ensemble piece? How would you guys want to see it go down? Let's see. Jimmy Nail says, if it stands in the way of me getting more of The Witcher, I don't want it, full stop. I don't think it would. There's a long year and he can film multiple things, and he's saying he wants to do this. And we already know there's more of The Witcher coming. So I think you're good on that front. Anonymous says, and this is going back to Terry Crews stuff, wait, if you would do the commercial, why criticize Crews? Like, what? Is he responsible for how Amazon treats their employees? Also, when you say, I don't know what I'm talking about, maybe don't talk about it. This is why we're doomed. The internet fucked us. It's interesting that you said that as anonymous because you were not willing to say your name with comments like that. And I can address both of those things. Thank you for giving me the opportunity, anonymous, who doesn't put their face or name on things because they are not so bold to do so. Here's the answer to that. As I already stated, not everybody is given the same privilege that Terry Crews is given to be able to make millions of dollars no matter what they're doing. He could rep a clothing brand. He could do another show. He could do a different kind of commercial. He has a lot of opportunities on the table for him because he's a celebrity. I don't have those opportunities. And so I did put that in there to say, wow, I'm not sitting here and saying Cruz is a bad guy. I do think that if you are a multimillionaire, you are able to say no to things that average citizens like me are not able to say no to. And I wish that we could hold the people that we look up to a certain level of responsibility that it's fucked. Or if he was to take half that money and give it to Amazon employees, something good for Amazon. Is Cruz responsible for how Amazon treats their employees? Absolutely not. And I never stated that. Surprised you said that I did. But is Cruz supporting the idea that people should apply to Amazon to be their employees, knowing very well, like the world knows, that they don't treat their employees well? Yes, he is. And he's putting his face on that. And that matters because his face matters more than mine does. So that's to answer that, anonymous. And then to speak to, I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't think that you have to be a lawyer or a judge or know about the judicial system to hear common decency. And so that's what I'm saying from a position of, and I think that it's a valuable position of just a bystander, a watcher, like you, many of you guys are. To me, it sounds like the judge is being unbelievably rude. Now, where it wouldn't be acceptable for me to give my position on would be exactly what the judge should say or what the sentencing should be when I don't know what the precedent is for that. So what I didn't speak about is how long Kyle should go to prison, or in prison, what his situation should be, because I don't know enough to know to recommend what that should be. I would have to be a judge to do that. But what I can say is, as a citizen, I would like a justice system, something that we all pay money towards, that all our taxes, my taxes, yours too, if you pay them, go to. We have a right to say, I don't like the way that this judge is speaking to the prosecutor. I think that's fucked up. So that's why, anonymous. Thanks for asking. Going back into the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Send in your questions, comments, concerns, support over here. Glenn Caesar says, may you fill your never-ending goblet of happiness and joy and get to drink from it whenever, wherever you can. Hope you remember to say to yourself, I'm kind, I'm caring, I'm fully unique, I'm worthy, my story is important, deserves to be seen and heard. Being unselfishly loving and supportive of others, including strangers, whether it's on the internet or not, as well as being kind, caring, and fully unique, makes you humane, worthy, and a cozy fire to be near. You are delightful, a priceless treasure, and an inspiration. That's because you were watching me on Christian Blatt's show. I am delightful. Ha 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 ha. Thank you. Appreciate all of you guys. Thank you for being in here and for talking to me about some of these difficult things and some not so difficult things. Not so difficult things. Man of Steel 2. Doesn't feel difficult. Just feels like a no-brainer. I feel like if Warner Brothers brought me in and they were like, what do you think we should do right now for DC? I think the first thing I would say is, well, the no-brainer one is Man of Steel 2. Why aren't you guys doing that? And that I wouldn't be the only one. I feel like everybody would say that. Because what? Joseph Ashley says that my nails look like red jelly beans. I kind of like that. Jelly beans sound amazing right now. My food was supposed to get here an hour ago. It got very, very delayed. And it will not be here for another 40 minutes. Your girl is hungry. I would not just eat a jelly bean. I would eat my face. I posted something on my Instagram story, and then we're going to get out of here relatively soon. So send in any last minute questions, comments, concerns. I posted on my Instagram story a couple would you rathers. It's interesting to see people's responses. I did, would you rather lose your keys or lose your phone? A lot more people said keys than phone, which I thought was was fascinating because to lose your keys, you need to call a locksmith, and that could be your house key and your car key. You might need to do a whole new transmission, and still people were like, 62% of people were like, no, lose my keys, cannot lose my phone. That was kind of wild. Then I did, would you rather wake up at 4 a.m. or always wake up at 4 a.m. or always go to sleep at 4 a.m.? And 60% of people said always wake up at 4 a.m., which was fascinating to me because I would always go to sleep at 4 a.m. instead. Waking up at 4 a.m. sounds like misery. Blech. I'm going to go to sleep already at like 3. So just really, really, that was an interesting one. And then the last one is the one that everybody was DMing me about. Like, why the fuck would you ask this? This is an insane question. And it was, would you rather eat an ounce of hair or drink an ounce of pee? Now, my sister messaged me and was like, you're a serial killer if you don't say drink an ounce of pee. And I kind of agree with her here, not that you're a serial killer. And in theory, I would rather eat hair. But when you think about an ounce of hair, I don't actually know how you eat it. Like, think about trying to get hair down your throat. How do you do that? I could figure out how to get pee down. Like a shot, it's done. Disgusting. I'm pissed, but I did it. I don't know how you swallow hair. Think about it going down. It wouldn't go down. It just would get stuck. You just wouldn't be able to do it. So just stuck in the throat. Good old throat with the hairs. It's all the hair. There'll be so much hair. Adro says, who's going down? Where? What? Not the hair. Not the hair. So curious your guys' answers as we are getting out of here in the next couple minutes. Send in any last minute questions, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. If you have thoughts about any of the stuff I just said, would love to hear it. Let's see what's going on in here. Leonard Kim says, 100%, I'd love more Henry Cavill as Superman. I'm not ready to let go of him yet. Now, how do we get Batfleck back? That one I feel like is a little harder, but I still would love that. BVS 2. Man of Steel 2 is really the move. It's really the move. I think so. Ryan Payne says, if you're willing to drink your pee for survival, then the question should be very easy to answer. Told you guys I knew a guy that drinks his pee every morning. That's fucking gross. Ugh. Ugh. Maybe eat your hair with spaghetti sauce, Joseph. I wonder what happened if you put your hair in boiling water. Try to boil it. Put spaghetti on it. Oh, God, that made me feel sick. No. We can't talk about that anymore. We just can't. It's just too much. Too fucking much. All right. Let's get out of here, friends. Let's get out of here. Any last minute questions, comments, concerns, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Thank you for talking with me about difficult things like Kyle Rittenhouse and the book ban in Kansas. Thanks for being nuanced enough to understand that I'm not dicking on Terry Crews. I just think that if you have that much money, pretending to be a non-Amazon employee or not paid like that, it's just a weird fucking concept. And thank you for talking with me about Henry Cavill and how we all seemingly want a Man of Steel too. Sup, Warner Brothers? Get at us. In the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Glenn Caesar says, may you breathe in more golden sparkles of love as you inhale and blow out stress and yucky energy whenever, wherever you need to in each of your days, your weeks, your months, even your years. Remember, we're all still alive, so be you. Sparkling diamonds, dear. He didn't say dear, but I did. All right, my friends, much love. Stay safe, stay sane. Put down the toilet seat and lid. We don't want those flumes. Make your bed. Brett Miles Jonathan, Arrest the Cops Who Killed Breonna Taylor. Don't Tremble the Holocaust. Shout out to all of you guys in here. Ken Ulozis, Steve Cauldron, Christian Hardesty, Glenn Caesar, Third Turd, Adro, Joseph Ashley, Bill Still, Manny Gonzalez, Murderanta, Super Credit, Martin S., Bobby Jackson, John Perillo, to William Hurled, to all of you guys, Cardinal Belgrave Jr., wrap it in bacon. That's the best way to eat anything. But I don't know if you could wrap pea in bacon. Alex Piper Hallowell, Glenn Caesar, Ryan Payne, Gavin, and everybody else. Appreciate all of you guys for stopping by. Ethan Dayton, Mohammed Belsin, Redford, Reddington, and more. Much love to all of you. See you tonight for the World Girls, 7 p.m. as we build Grogu. Later.